Hello and welcome to Why the Media. Today we are actually talking about this channel, so we're going to get a little meta at the moment, but I thought it would be very interesting to figure out what people are interested. It's a little great experiment of me understanding how a YouTube channel works and using analytics into seeing what people, are, like I said, are generally interested and how to focus on that. So let's just look at it overall. So I've made about 30-ish videos since this channel has started. Some have been tutorials, some have been kind of podcasting, kind of content videos and such. And so what is interesting, and also these podcast episodes have kind of also been, some have been about TV, some have been on video games, some have been on video game graphics. So it's a very large net, and looking at the data that I have in front of me, it just kind of just goes in all sorts of directions, and there's big spikes and there's very small parts, and let's just dive into it to see what people are really interested in. So first and foremost, I would say that the overall objective of my channel was to be entertaining. It was just to make, if you were looking for something to chill and sit down and watch, it was, just so you can relax and be informed on something. I'm someone that's really passionate about education. I may not come off as someone like that though, but like my favorite, YouTube content is actually podcasts, specifically the Joe Rogan podcast, because obviously that's stereotypical of someone my age. But I mean, when you have astrophysicists on it, and political entities, even though I get extremely worn out by too much political stuff, and just archaeologists and other paleontologists, just learning about just anything is really interested to me. And as someone that comes from a family of the entertainment industry, and as someone that's just kind of into entertainment in general, my focus was just to find the things that I enjoy, talk about the things I love, and make sure it's informative and tell people about it, and just kind of show my passion within it. So I would say that overall I was shooting for an audience that was kind of my age, someone that was in probably 18 to 25-year-old male age, that is into video games, movies, artwork, and is also into just kind of learning more about the world that lives in this, and not just taking what is happening for granted. And I believe that overall my messages hopefully portrayed that successfully. I would say that my major influences on this content were kind of Ahoy, Rebel Taxi, and my Super Eye Patch Wolf, which was they're all very informative YouTube channels and content creators that really go in depth about what the media that they love. It is all just about the media they love and why it is important and why it exists and so forth. And that is literally verbatim of what I was looking for. I focused almost my entire effort on YouTube, but also I had a small Twitter page, and my Instagram page actually did way better than my Twitter page. It was very funny. I actually thought that Twitter was always going to be the best platform, the best side platform to post content, but I found that Instagram, people were really finding my work, and they were really finding my specifically my After Effects tutorials on them, and I was getting compliments on them and DMs on them and likes on all my images. So I thought that was easily the most surprising, because I never used Instagram until I started this YouTube channel. So seeing that this platform wasn't just for live, laugh, love, for lack of better terminology, really rich, attractive people, I should say, is what I always thought Instagram was for, but also just for content creators and artists. I really appreciate it, and I found so much enjoyment in Instagram. It's actually been one of the big surprises about starting this channel. The identity that I'm kind of going for is obviously being, an artist and creating and appreciating artwork, and that platform really seemed like it fit excellent towards my kind of agenda. Way better than Twitter was. Twitter was a huge actually struggle to get off the ground. I followed a bunch of different accounts. I tweeted out my videos, tweeted out ideas, but nothing really stuck, not even remotely close to as well as Instagram did. So that was interesting. Obviously I did post some content on Reddit through my personal account, and obviously that seemed to generate a lot of attraction. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's what generated the most attraction to my YouTube channels, was when I posted links on Reddit to my account, and I would typically get really bad backlash on it, but it would bring in the most views, and I would actually receive one or two compliments actually from Reddit accounts, even though the majority of the feedback was mostly negative. But I try not to be clickbaity. I try not to be, sensational. I just try to be me. And so even though I'm working on this content, and obviously I know the content can be better, and I'm working on it, I found Reddit to be a very important and essential platform. So without further ado, I would actually like to start going into the data. So I would just kind of like to say that overall, from day to day, I only got about 5,000. When I wasn't posting, I would get about 5 views a day on my channel, unfortunately. It is very hard, and I found that people were typically only watching my videos for about 6 minutes on average. So, obviously I have some pretty long videos, but for the most part, people are watching about half the length on them, according to YouTube analytics. There was a huge spike of me, and it's totally me posting on their subreddit games, was posting my basic understanding of video game graphics. Actually, I have almost 100 minutes of viewers watching that video, so it is just people are really interested in what that video is, and actually it has a really high like ratio, and people really enjoyed it, and that's actually the biggest spike I have. It's the video that doesn't have the most views, but people seem to enjoy that video the most, if that makes any sense. The video with the most views is actually diversity in gaming, which has the vast majority of negative views, because there's some, I guess, feeling of pandering to a political side. I tried to make that as least political as possible. Or obviously, nothing cannot be biased, but I tried my best, and unfortunately, a lot of people did not like that. So it was very interesting. I don't want to be someone that goes after, I don't want to be someone that generally goes after the controversy, or make content that people dislike but they'll watch it. Making content that people hate watch. That there's enough of that. I enjoy my personal job too much to do something like that. I only want to make content people enjoy, but still going out there and making that content is very important. That demographic, or that diversity video I was just telling you about, has the most views, almost by 33% more than almost any other video. The second highest, which is the basic understanding of video game graphics. Now after that, there's a huge drop. So only about 28 minutes is my next video, but that's actually my text tutorial videos. They did consistently okay, I would say that. So generally people would watch them. They watched the full one. They were only about 10 minutes long. Some were a little bit longer than that because I tried to go for something a little complex. But what I enjoyed was bringing some of my real world content and bringing that to the onto the actual YouTube platform. So I thought that people think it was really useful to say like, oh, this is actually what's on TV. So that was my general idea, and I think that people really enjoyed it. That has the most consistent favored feedback on that, and then basically everything else is kind of just barren. People didn't really care too much about my thoughts or my facts videos that involved film, which I thought was pretty interesting. I think people are really picky when it comes to the content creators when it comes to that, but they're more open to seeing how people talk about video games, and they're people that are interested in After Effects. They want to know the most about it, so they generally enjoyed that content. So with all that information, I just kind of word vomited right now. I would like to say that I feel like I am obviously reaching a demographic. I'm posting on the platforms that people my age, males in their 20s, are on. And what I would say from that is that obviously we're really interested in video games, but they're really interested in learning, the background behind them. This is the understanding of this, and I'm taking what I'm concluding from this, or what I'm drawing my conclusion from, is the main video that has essentially done the best, or has received the most enjoyment, which is my understanding of video games, as well as taking my most consistently enjoyed videos, which are my tutorials. So taking this in mind, I would like to step forward and focus on informative, positive videos that are really in depth, obviously. So, because like I said, I'm a person that's really into learning, and I think that there are a lot of people my age that really are into that and like this background information on stuff. So obviously Instagram is going to be my main focus of my platform of interest when posting on the side, but also I will be posting content still on Reddit because it gives the most consistent spikes within my data.